The proliferation of legal technology has resulted in the emergence of a broad range of solutions designed to make the more administrative legal processes and work streams carried out by law firms more efficient. So you've got, for example, artificial intelligence and machine learning, which have been used to transform some of the more labor-intensive and repetitive processes, such as document review and due diligence, in part by automating some of the roles that were traditionally carried out manually by paralegals and legal assistants and trainees. There are also a number of platforms that exist to facilitate more streamlined collaboration between different parties. And these can reduce the need for junior lawyers to act as the conduits through which information passes between parties. Instead, those parties can just log in centrally to these platforms, and from there they can communally access documents and update checklists, and dozens of parties can kind of log in and sign documents. So even when I was a trainee, which wasn't a huge amount of time ago, I would be there just project managing this influx and outflow of emails to all sorts of different parties, and legal tech kind of solves that problem. Now, as automation and efficiencies increase, the number of billable hours that need to be worked to complete transactions will decrease. And that means legal fees should also decrease, or at least as far as clients are concerned. So for this reason, clients are increasingly expecting their legal advisors to adopt cutting-edge legal tech where possible, and clients will have more impetus to challenge the traditional approach to billing moving forward in light of these change. The trend has accelerated in light of COVID, which has galvanized businesses into adopting more efficient operational processes and also requiring their suppliers, such as law firms, to do so. Now, taking all of this into account does suggest that the lawyer of the future, or for a lawyer of the future, an understanding of and a willingness to use legal technology will become increasingly essential, as the efficiencies that legal technology can generate will enable their firms to provide more competitive fee quotes, and it'll just become part and parcel of what you do as a junior. As more law firms adopt these technologies, firms will need to be at the cutting edge of innovation to remain competitive. They might otherwise struggle to compete on price with competitors that have more effectively adopted legal tech and can therefore come up with lower quotes for prospective clients. Given all of that, however, engagement and adoption among lawyers still poses a challenge, which is really classic anyway. It's always, it can always be a fairly slow-moving industry at times, and it's all well and good having great tech there, but if people at the top aren't willing to use it and promote it and champion it, then it's just not going to filter down. Finally, one more challenge that relates to the kind of legal technology trend relates to training. So paralegals and trainees traditionally learned the ropes through the exposure they gain to key legal documents and processes, while carrying out many of the, as I mentioned, labor-intensive administrative processes, such as proofreading and reviewing documents, project managing transactions and cases, and that kind of thing. If technology takes over some of these processes, firms will need to find new ways to equip their juniors with the knowledge and experience required to succeed as associates. And I can tell you from my own experience, classroom learning isn't enough to pick up the practical skills you need to succeed as an associate. Learning on the job is a huge part of it. And even proofreading and amending a 300-page document, as well as that can sound a little bit boring or whatever, doing that gives you such great exposure to how the processes work and how the documents are structured that it puts you in a much better position if you're then given a more substantive role on that document in the future.